Good morning. Welcome to this artistic, meditative, philosophic event with yours truly, Dragan. It is 9:56 a.m. in the morning, and the stock market has been open for 26 minutes now. Sell, buy, trade, stocks, buy, sell, commodities, futures, options, Wall Street, Wall Street, Wall Street. Mr. Fing. Please, if anybody makes a million on the stock market today, or has made a million profit yesterday, or will make a million on the profit tomorrow, please give 10% for food security and LGBTQ youth services and women's sports leagues and environmental causes. Still got a lot of time. It's 9:57 a.m. It's still early in the morning. Still can go hard and buy, sell. If you make that $1 million profit today on the stock market, please do. Give 10% for food security, first and foremost, because food is a holy, sacred, and divine necessity and element that is, of course, required for us to build, maintain, and upgrade civilization. And yours truly, independent artist, independent athlete, independent activist, triple A plus other dimensions to that triple A. Let me sing a little bit to the workers, farmers. Thank you, love you, kiss you, farmers. Thank you, love you, kiss you, butchers, bakers. Thank you, love you, kiss you, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, all involved in the production and distribution of food, because food is holy. And even yours truly, to get this rock and roll morning edition of artistic, philosophic, meditative, and loving call to all, willingly loving call to all, willingly loving call to all, willingly loving. I got this cup of coffee, which as the motto of the dancing goddess army that I'm calling the creation ASAP goes, is that all fruits, vegetables, and legumes are made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun. And even this black coffee bean, which comes from a red berry that was produced somewhere in the world, maybe here in Central America, Honduras, Panama, Costa Rica, or even Cuba, or Brazil, Colombia, even Peru, Bolivia, or in Africa, Rwanda, Ethiopia, Uganda, or somewhere maybe in Asia, and Vietnam, as Vietnam has grown to become a global exporter of coffee. But initially, that bean, just like all the fruits, all the legumes, and all the vegetables, are initially made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun. So all the fruits, the vegetables, and legumes that are now being made, created, and produced by that dance, and of course that dance requires not only the light and life and light and heat of the sun, it also requires the black fertile earth and all the elements, nutrients, minerals found thereof in the black fertile earth, with, of course, in the combination with the sun rays and the rays of the sun and the sun's heat and the life force thereof. And that dance, of course, it's not a literal dance. I'm saying in a more abstract, more spiritual way, the dance of the goddess with her brother sun, referring, of course, to Mother Nature, planet Earth. That, of course, it is a dance, a majestic, a grand dance that encompasses perhaps all the dances of the world that yours truly is doing on the daily whenever I hear music. So as the clock is 10 a.m. now, has stricken 10 a.m., I am grateful, thankful that my rent is paid in full for this September. It's September 20th. So my rent has been paid in full, so I can keep on working. So I gotta do a little bit of cleaning in my own room of some temple. But continue working as I'm working now in this artistic, philosophic, meditative, spiritual manner in this 10:01 a.m. And to my willingly loving allies and armies with consent and hygiene. Consent and hygiene, mutual understanding and love is hug hard. H-U-G, hug hard, like you never hugged before, like it was to be a last day on earth. What would you spend it to do? To do XYZ, 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 and definitely to do some loving, because otherwise, what are we fighting to save civilization, the free world west side for North American collective civilization, and What are we fighting for? Get ready, those ICBM nuclear warheads to go pop pop. World War III, boom boom boom. Nuclear warheads launch. We have nuclear war, man. So, open question. So if somebody's not making love, LOV, today in Hawk Island, Montreal, in this big metropolis island, or in Canada, coast to coast, or in the USA, as I was an American twice in past lives. As a matter of fact, 156 years ago, that way, 718 miles south, served in the U.S. Army. So somebody's not gonna hug good today. Good loving, some good kisses. Kisses got 718 trillions of kisses for all my willingly loving allies and armies. Pledge your allegiance, legions, pledge your allegiance, legions, pledge your allegiance, legions. Kisses got 718 trillions. Money, I'm in an economic, financial, commercial crisis, although my workouts are gold and attesting by seeing more than 290 sessions of my workouts, as I've created my own workout training program, work in progress, to build the Dragan Army app, Dragan Workout app, Dragan Army Workout app, of course, that I will more than likely more than 50% live stream another session tonight. And I encourage all to work out, train, exercise. It has been, is, and will continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice. And as the philosophy, my philosophy is, of course, that the body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. How do we invest in the body? Working out, training, exercise. The body is a temple for both pleasure and purpose. Purpose to do XYZ, hopefully to maintain civilization, if not upgrade it, go towards the stars, hopefully upgrade civilization. And if maintaining the stock market and the current system is maintaining civilization, well, that can be a discussion with XYZ in parallel, mass financing, or a public-private partnership like I'm calling for. The mass financing of people to work out, to train, and to exercise, of course, specifically via the Dragan armies. Working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice. And I believe it can be medicine and therapy for many. Thank you to the city workers. Thank you, love you, kiss you, city workers. Thank you, love you, kiss you, city workers. Thank you, love you, kiss you, city workers who build the, changing the aqueducts, changing the infrastructure, the roads. But of course, if I encourage all consent and hygiene to make LOV tonight, because otherwise, what are we fighting to save? The free world for, civilization for, is freedom. If somebody's not making LOV tonight, somebody's not making love tonight, what are we fighting to save? Save civilization for? I ask. It's an open question. For the stock market, or rich multi-millionaire athletes, they already got their millions, they're good. CEOs of corporations, multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires, please give 10% if you make $1 million on the stock market today. 10% for food security, first and foremost, because everybody gotta eat, everybody gotta eat, everybody gotta eat. Spiritual beings or not, teachers of spirituality, as I am myself, a universal spiritual teaching student. I say student because I don't know it all. I don't know it all, don't know it all. Have questions, but are embodied in the simplicity, simple expressions of my philosophies. That the body is a temple for pleasure and purpose, and this body is, of course, a temple for pleasure and purpose. And as it is 10:05 a.m. in the morning, I am calling for those who make $1 million on the stock market profit today, or have made $1 million on the stock market yesterday, or will make $1 million on the stock market tomorrow, to please, please, please give 10% of that million. 10% of $1 million is 100,000 for food security, mass financing, food security, and of course for LGBTQ youth sports. Myself being, of course, a proud member of my fellow Rainbow Nation across nations unite. Rainbow Nation across nations unite. Rainbow Nation across nations unite. Independent artist, independent athlete, independent activist, AAA plus. Other dimensions to that trinity, universal spiritual teaching student, geopolitical analyst and theorist, and fundamental world peace advocate. I'm still a world peace advocate, but I admit that I do have aggression within myself. What I do is take action to channel and sublimate, channel and sublimate, to channel and sublimate. Like this morning, woke up early and negative thoughts came. Like, oh, I cannot afford a massage therapy. I didn't get commission. I'm the world's greatest dancer. At least millions should see my dance. Millions should see my dance. Millions should see at least my dance, because I'm gonna say the word goddess, and this goddess blessed steps, and it's the greatest dance in the universe, and the world's greatest dancer. Thank you, love you, city workers who clean those roads. Thank you, love you, kiss you, hug you, city workers who clean those roads. Thank you, love you, kiss you, hug you, city workers who clean those roads. And of course, I do get upset, do get moody, but as an independent psychological theorist and analyst, and admitting that I'm far from perfect, I got issues, I got vices, I got lusts. I got issues, I got vices, I got lusts. I admit it, I'm guilty, yep. I don't play the self-righteous, I don't play the self-righteous. I don't play the self-righteous. But I am for the greater good, and I'm doing meditations and spirituality, and action is required in my own healing. Action has been required and is required after this meditation and philosophic, artistic, philosophic, and spiritual, geopolitical, financial meditation that I'm doing this morning. I'm gonna have to clean my room, write some more emails, look for more cooperation opportunities to do business, and of course look for a venue, the arena and the coliseums and the sports arenas that I'm asking for yours truly to do a dance for the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Army of the NFL National Football League, NHL National Hockey League, NBA National Basketball Association, MLB, to dance on all genres of music for the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Army, which of course is my dream, along in parallel with the Dragon Army. Please, please, please increase in hygiene in public. Please, please, please increase in hygiene in public. Please, please, please increase in hygiene in public. Wash the hands in the public more. Because right now I'm in my underground room office, but literally underground room. Serves as a room where office where write theory, poetry, philosophy, do meditations, connect with my parallel self as I've connected with my parallel self during COVID, and of course has been also to that trinity of being, serving as a room, as an office, and as a temple house, also served as a gymnasium. Small, small, small. I admit I want to get something bigger, to do bigger dances, bigger workouts. I mean, I want to get something bigger, to get bigger, to do bigger dances, bigger workouts. I admit I want something bigger, to do bigger workouts, bigger dances, and calling on all to support the Belvedere to make it the house of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom. The Belvedere to make it the house of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom. The Belvedere on Mount Royal, the headquarters of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, to make it, of course, the house of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom at the Belvedere. 10 a.m., 10 minutes. Who made $1 million profit buying stocks, trading stocks? Mr. Buffett at a buffet. Mr. Fing, Mr. Soros. If you did, please give 10% of that million profit, which equivalent of 100,000 to food security, finance, food security, LGBTQ youth, sports, and of course environmental issues, mother nature issues, of course the women's sports leagues. So I'm here, I just had a great vision of the Dancing Goddess Army to dance in collaboration with the patriarchal sports leagues. I'm saying patriarchal sports leagues due to, of course, the fact that the NFL National Football League, NHL National Hockey League, NBA National Basketball Association, and MLB make millions of dollars average salaries and millions of dollars average salaries, calling them to support this league that I'm calling it to be the International Integrated Dance League. Integrated that it to be an all gender, all ages, all sexual orientations inclusive, and to be for purpose and pleasure. Pleasure for I love dancing. It always gives me some of that good pleasure to dance. I love dancing. It's a pleasurable activity for me. I believe it is can be for many, just like working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice. Lost more than 77 pounds, created my own workout training program. But before I do a Draganism, digressions, I just had a vision of the Dancing Goddess Army, officially called International Integrated Dance League, to in collaboration and of course to raise funds and to do the environmental work as the Dancing Goddess Army, officially the International Integrated Dance League that I'm calling for the creation, is of course to be for pleasure and purpose. Pleasure and purpose and pleasure for the environment, environmental education and action. Even myself, I can do better. Sometimes I have questions. Am I doing the right thing in terms of the recycling? Does that go in the recycling or does not? Sometimes there's a doubt. Information sometimes changes. The processes of the equipment that we're working with sometimes varies and changes, right? So education and action, because action is required. If we're going to attain harmony, that I'm calling for harmony between civilization and nature, some alternative activities are going to have to be offered. Because there's people who have different interests and all those can be pretty complex, but you have to offer, of course, alternatives. We have to offer some services. In complementary to the International Integrated Dance League, the Dancing Goddess Army, that I am calling for the creation, of course, is the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragan Army, to be integrated with all existing public and private institutions and organizations, all public and private security forces, and with the citizen, securing the three essential elements of civilization for all: the food, the housing, and the transport. Last week I did so many meditations on the and education, as I've read online and I have proof of work of my self-education and education, continuing education and reading and doing coffee with dragons and tens of videos in this regard of reading and education, and it's a constant. Today I'm going to do some more reading, some more meditation, and that's going to do now. So the creation of these two new institutions to be integrated with all existing public and private institutions in order to balance, being more in harmony and equilibrium to the global corporatized, financialized, technocratic system which has arisen since 1984. Since 1984, there has been a global corporatized, financialized, technocratic system which has arisen since 1984. The re-election of Ronald Reagan across the collective North American civilization, the Western world, the world for that matter, a globalized, corporate, technocratic, financialized system has arisen. And my trinity of theories, I believe, offer some solutions to the 21st century. And while I can intellectualize, be sophisticated in explaining the trinity of theories, the CIT, the citizen integration theory, debt refusion theory, and democratic fusion theory, the trinity of theories, the holy, sacred, and divine trinity of theories, to be implemented as part of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom's world peace work, and to create a two complementary and covenant institution, but of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragan Army, and the International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army. As much to that trinity, of course, of CIT, Citizen Integration Theory, DRT, Debt Refusion Theory, and DFT, Democratic Fusion Theory. That trinity of theories, love. Fourth dimension, love. The fourth dimension has to be love, because willingly loving is if not. And love is also action. This is my philosophy. What type of love? Well, haven't had much loving in past 7 years, but you catch up, my allies and armies. You do double sevenfold love for me. My allies and armies, you sevenfold that love for me. Kiss harder today like you never kissed before. Show you how. Hug harder, longer, deeper, with consent and hygiene, obviously, like you never hugged before, because the body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. And as much as I am spiritual, I am also a creature of the flesh, of the flesh, and the lust and the cravings of the flesh. I try to be in the medium, in the balance, but I don't play it self-righteous, I try to give everybody second, third chances. I've deserved, I've perhaps overdue my, my own second, third chances and XYZ, but I fight my own battles. Let that be clearly understood. If you want a dancing battle, freestyle battle rap, gonna rap for those farmers, clack, clack, clack. You farmers, rock, 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 I love you. You farmers and the truckers and the butchers and the bakers, I love you, kiss you, hug you. Railway workers, rap for them, hard steel, cement blocks, yep. Farmers rock with us steel toe boots. They get dirty, so we gotta eat. Civilization built. Gonna rap, freestyle battle rap. We can put gloves. It's my anonymous sister donating me some boxing gloves for my boxing match that I'm still challenging Donald Trump to fight me in a boxing match. And my sister donated me a few years ago. Boxing gloves so that I challenged Donald Trump, and I still challenging Donald Trump to a boxing match on the U.S. Canadian border due to those tariffs on the U.S. Canadian aluminum and steel, those tariffs on the Canadian aluminum and steel. Still challenging Donald Trump to a boxing match on the U.S. Canadian border for the collective North American civilization, security, prosperity, and balance with my universal revolutionary centrism, pro-labor, universal revolutionary centrism. So still challenging Donald Trump to a boxing match on the U.S. Canadian border. Got the boxing gloves, I got them. Anonymous sister made a donation a few years ago, which you can see does lots of videos of me challenging Donald Trump and of me boxing. And if you want to support that, please feel free, blah blah blah, as yours truly is open for business. Triple vaccinated, please increase in hygiene in public, because when we step outside in the public domain, we have added responsibilities, obligations, and duties. My brothers and sisters, if I am here, it's 10:19 a.m. in the morning, and buy, sell, trade stocks, Wall Street, Wall Street, Wall Street, Mr. Fink, Mr. Fink, Mr. Fink, please, if you make $1 million profit on the stock market today, give 10% for food security, give 10% for women's sports leagues, for LGBTQ youth sports, and for environmental issues. 10% of $1 million is 100,000. And I got issues, I got vices, but ain't no fucking way that I would have been that fucking selfish if I would have got millions in the bank account to not give for food security first and foremost, for LGBTQ youth services, because I know the struggles of coming out and being LGBTQ, being a rainbow dragon. This dragon is a rainbow one. I've lost economic, financial, commercial opportunity and continuance and blessing and continuity of employment or business opportunity or contract. Being LGBTQ, it's in the past. I can do today. I live every day carpe diem. Like I said, I fight my own battles. If anybody want to put them gloves on, with yours truly Dragon, anywhere, anytime, baby, anywhere, anytime, no problemo. Put on gloves, freestyle battle, dance battle. Let the arena decide, the public decide. I am of the people's athlete, people's independent fitness captain, and the people's doctor, who does not play it self-righteous. After this video, I'm gonna do some more cleaning in my room off some temple. But with all that, ain't no way that I would have been that selfish with having millions of dollars in the bank account to not give for food security, LGBTQ youth services, and of course environmental issues. If I would have had millions of dollars in the bank account, and ain't no way that I would have been that selfish. Yeah, I got $10,000 in debt to the RBC, and of course taking a real life event of the Reality is that the Bank of Canada, which is the central bank, along with other central banks across NATO member countries and beyond, and Federal Reserve, which is a central bank in its own manner, has increased the prime lending rates for the first time for 1% in more than 22 years. Hasn't been that high increase. So the debt servicing, the interest that millions of Canadians pay has gone up. That's why I believe my theory in regards to the economic, financial, commercial system and finance, debt refusion theory, the DRT, is what's needed, my brothers and sisters, for this 21st century. For now, DRT, debt refusion theory, which basically, of course, is taking all private and public debt. If X is representing the private debt, if I'm X1 and you're X2, and there's hundreds of thousands, millions, tens of millions of X's across Canada, US, Mexico, and beyond, Germany, Israel, taking all that debt, refusing it. So if I'm 10,000, 15,000 is 7,000, taking all that debt and refusing it. Of course, it's gonna have to be a conversion, since of course the United States dollar is not at par with the Canadian dollar, with the Mexican peso, or with the German. As a matter of fact, we're gonna do a check now. We're gonna go online and we're gonna check the currency worth. So taking all private and public debt, refusing it, whatever that number is in US dollars, whatever the number is, could be, it's in the trillions. Converting it, doing the conversion of the Canadian dollars, the pesos, the euros, the Israeli new shekels to the US dollar, and creating a new global currency, a currency that I call the UE. The UE stands for U.E.U, Universal Exchange Unit, for the Universal Exchange Unit. So taking all private and public debt, refusing it, basically whatever that number is, converting it, putting into the conversion. We're gonna have to make it. Let's do it, for example. So all the private and the public debt, my example, my private debt is $10,000, and don't worry, I'm gonna do workouts, art, and give kisses and hugs, because kisses I got 718 trillions of kisses. So my willingly living allies and armies, I can make y'all kiss millionaires. You just gotta pledge your allegiance, because kisses got 718 trillions of them. Got some brains and some muscle with that. Not perfect. Admit I have aggression. I channel the aggression. I sublimate it. These are key words of my philosophy. This morning I woke up a bit moody. I woke up early. I didn't say, god damn it, I could use a good massage. I'm working out hard, getting fit, athlete, the people's athlete, but nobody's volunteering eagerly. Way too much. What am I gonna do? I feel sorry for myself. I've been there. I've been through depression. I've conquered depression. I can't afford it, but say, I cannot afford a massage service therapy session because it's maybe $100, or what's the price during COVID. I haven't even checked during COVID, because all the work and all the stress and all the work that I did, and arising with a new CV, curriculum vitae, that yours truly, Adrian Dragan. I put in more philosophic, artistic, intellectual work, spiritual and athletic work than all the leaders of the free world combined, while marched in steel-toe boots more than the generals of NATO combined during COVID. I marched more than the generals of NATO combined during COVID in steel-toe boots, and put in more intellectual, philosophic, artistic, spiritual, psychological, and artistic and athletic work than all the leaders of NATO member countries of the free world combined during COVID. That's my new CV, curriculum vitae. I put in more intellectual, physical, psychological, artistic, athletic work than all the leaders of the free world combined during COVID, while also marched in steel-toe boots more than the generals of NATO combined during COVID. That's my new CV. Pretty straightforward and direct. You can check hundreds of my workout videos, hundreds of my artistic videos. Copyright those that I channel, the art that I sing, do rock and roll, please. Copyright if you want to use, that. So this morning I woke up, I said I was a bit moody, upset, woke up early. My alarm rang. Oh man, I could use a massage. Yesterday I did a hardcore workout, more than an hour and a half workout. I also marched a bit. I also wrote some poetry, wrote some theories, sent some emails, responded to some responses, which directed me to another bureaucratic doors closed. Still gonna knock on those doors by writing emails. Read it today. Said, I could use a goddamn massage. Cannot afford it. What am I gonna do? I was bitter a bit. Was moody a bit. Then I started doing things. I started doing with the coffee, started cleaning a bit. Posted, checked my email, see if I got a commission, see if I got that first dollar donation. Nothing. That's okay. My rent's paid. I said, my rent's paid. I can work out, train, exercise. I can go online. I can encourage people to public hygiene. Please increasing public hygiene. I can do what I can do and just do and be open for business. I can meditate. I can learn. My rent's paid and I got food. I got good food for today. I retrieved yesterday some good food. Retrieved yesterday some good food. And I got coffee. I paid my rent in full and my electricity bill in full. So I'm doing this meditation now. I've studied and learned, of course, and I'm constantly learning that. I want to say thank you, love you, kiss you, past, present, and future workers of Hydro Quebec. This light above my head, this electricity that I'm using in a smartphone, and this light that I'm using to do this laptop is clean, renewable, zero pollution energy. That all la belle province utilise l'électricité qui ne pollue pas pantoute. All electricity does not pollute. 63 dams across this La Belle Province. Quebec give not only to the province of Quebec but also to about 5 or maybe even six states in the US, 5 that I know of. And to brains and muscles build the dams to utilize the energy, the rivers, the brains to develop the technological know-how, and of course the muscle to utilize the energy of this, the rivers, for me and for you to do, to watch television, to brew the coffee, to cook. Even those massage parlors who charge, I don't know how much they charge nowadays. I know before COVID it was about an average of 80 for even half an hour. Quite expensive. Y'all players in the NFL don't gotta pay for that, you know? Y'all gotta pay the expenses plus the $1 million contract. Calling on them on an event for the Global Dragan Union, my 21st Century International Workers Alliance, to have a week or a weekend where the farmers, the truckers, of course the butchers, the bakers, and the railway workers, farmers, truckers, railway workers, farmers first, to be offered by players in conjunction with nurses and doctors and professionals in the physical therapy professionals, to have the stadiums of the NFL, National Football League, the arenas of the NHL, National Hockey League, the courts, the venues of the NBA, National Basketball Association, and the coliseums, let's say, of the Major League Baseball, to have them all there. All the workers of the collective North American civilization to have the mass finance, billionaires and millionaires, billionaires, I'm counting on you to finance this project that I want to see. So that the Farmers Appreciation Week, and we have that every year, where the whole week is dedicated to the farmers and the multi-millionaire athletes. Y'all gotta eat also, man. Y'all also gotta eat, motherfuckers. Try to do my workouts. I'm not totally selfless. I don't say I'm selfless. I try to be balanced. Like I said this morning, I was craving a massage therapy, and the fact that I couldn't afford it pissed me off a bit. I was a bit upset. Not enough upset to chew my nails, because I don't do that. But I was a bit moody. I said, what can I do? I'm an artist, athlete, activist. I'm gonna keep on doing. Carpe diem every day. Carpe diem every day. Carpe diem every day. if it's something that I want to do, I want to see, is this event where the players, the multi-millionaire players, I'm gonna say patriarchal because not because I'm androgynous, pansexual, or part of the LGBTQ community, but because as facts and emotions and feelings matter, and we gotta keep things in balance. Sometimes our emotions drive us, our subconscious biases drive us. It's true, it's a fact. I have them. I'm aware, constantly aware of their own subconscious dimensions that we have, and they're there, the psychological, psychosexual dimensions, intentions, and hidden lusts, hidden fears that we have. But this I want to see. I want to see the, at least annually, a week for the farmers, or a whole weekend. Farmers, truckers, and the butchers, and the railway workers. Farmers, truckers, railway workers. Farmers, truckers, railway workers. Farmers, truckers, railway workers. We will have the stadiums and the players in the patriarchal sports league. I'm gonna say patriarchal, my brother's brother, because let's face it, there's not even one women's sports leagues which makes close economically, financially, commercially to what the aforementioned you make. There's not even one women's sports league. Sure, there are individual, a few women in the sports, tennis and others, who are millionaires, who make money, economic, financial, commercial blessings. But as a sports league, such as the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, there's not even one who makes even close economically, financially, commercially to what the average salaries of what the NFL is. Let's see, average salary is average NFL salary. 2022. It's 2.8 million per year. This is average. So there's all who make 1.5 million, some who make two, some who make 2.5, and some who make 3, 4, 5, 7 million a year and even more. The average salary of the NFL player in this year, 2022, is 2.8 million per year. Think about that. The average salary. So there's some who make 1 million, some who make 1.5 million, but there's those who make 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and more. Right? There's some who make 900,000, who make 1.6 million, 1,500,000 per year. How many games there are? Well, 16. I'm a fan of gridiron football. Don't get me wrong. I've been calling to be for the Super Bowl, but my brothers and sisters, there's no way that if I will have million in the bank account that I would not give for food security, for LGBTQ youth sports, or youth services, LGBTQ youth services, because XYZ. I've been there, I've suffered, I've struggled, I've struggled. I've been to see videos for many, many years. I've been in the open now. It's not been out of the closet for many years. I'm androgynous, pansexual. But that's just one dimension of me to being a philosopher, an athlete, an artist, an activist. AAA, artist, athlete, activist. Activist, artist, athlete. Artist, activist, athlete. Whatever, which one you sometimes first comes the other, and the vice versa. 2.8 million per year. So I want to see this project once a week, once a year, an annual event. The collective North American civilization, a event for the workers, for the farmers, because everybody got to eat. Even a person making 2 million a year, athlete, plays a few games, 16 games or whatever. If they go to the playoffs, it's like more games. If they go all the way to the Super Bowl, it's like maybe 20 games, right? And wins the Super Bowl, 21 games, whatever, 20 games on the Super Bowl, 20 games in the NFL, right? So the average player in the NFL is 2.8. Let's see NHL. 3.5 million per year, the average salary in the NHL. the NHL, 3.5 million per year. NHL has more games though, right? There's more than 80 games. I love myself some hockey. Problem is, I can skate but cannot break. I can dance, but I'm inviting them to support the dancing goddess army, right? Do a dance in all the arenas of the NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, in the collaboration, cooperation, partnership, right? I am looking for support for volunteers. And those willingly loving, willingly loving. Right? We have healing to do. My own healing has required action. It is requiring action. Action is required, some action. To do something for others, to work out, to train, to exercise. Because the body is a temple for pleasure and purpose, right? The majority cannot afford services of recreational services or XYZ. We have debt has skyrocketed since the 90s. Credit card debt. I have $10,000 in debt. I believe my debt refusion theory is best at this point in time, the DRT, to be implemented. And of course, I want to see an event. We have an appreciation event. I've written it down last week. I have it here actually. I'm gonna read it again. I'm gonna do it just on it. See, it's written by hand. I can make out my handwriting. My handwriting. Handwriting. The event, thank you workers. Thank you workers, the event title, thank you workers. Appreciation event via pleasure and recreation offering, marking the importance of railway work, farming, trucking and food preparation and distribution for the security, prosperity, ensuring of liberty and joy of the collective North American civilization. So what? Offering farmers, truckers, railway workers, and all food and production distribution services workers, so even those involved in fast food, fast food. So all those involved in the food production and distribution, right? From the farmers to the truckers who transport the food, to the railway workers, to the freight railways, transport the food, offering services such as massage therapy, spa, whatever it is, where? In the stadiums, arenas, venues, and other big capacity centers of the NFL, NHL, NBA, and MLB. And of course, NHL is not really national, it's binational. And of course, the NBA is not national, it's really binational, such as I'm calling, of course, the Dragan Army to be a binational. The collective North American civilization and beyond, for that matter, right? And beyond. Who willingly loving volunteers and players and CEOs, owners of the NFL, NHL, NBA, and MLB. How? With brains and muscle and assistance from security, sanitation, hygiene, professional massage therapy service personnel, XYZ, see, and nurses and doctors. This is what I'm calling for, advocating for. So this is an event which usually it's a dream that I want to see. I want to see that being done. Huh? So that's what I want to see. Thank you workers, an appreciation event via pleasure and recreation offering, marking the importance of railway work, farming, trucking, and food preparation for the security, prosperity, and ensuring of liberty and joy for the collective North American civilization. So what? The what? Offering, because some say, I don't like to be touched, I'm not going to take that offer. Me, Dragan, you offer me kisses, never going to say no. You offer me Food, I'm never gonna say no. You offer me some music, I'm never gonna say no. LOVE, offer me some good massage. I say, oh yeah, get in there hard. Yeah, yeah, my neck, yeah, arms also, legs. Oh, thank you. Then I'll do an all service and security army, the 21st century from the collective North American civilization, the Dragan army. That's what I'm calling for. So with consent and hygiene, mutual understanding and love, you start your love tonight, man, or today. Because what are we fighting to save civilization for if somebody's not making LOV? What am I gonna vote for? Politicians, millennials, even less than half vote. Nobody say I love you, nobody say I love you. Love is action. If somebody's not making love today, what are we fighting to save civilization for? What are we fighting to save civilization for? CEOs, multi-billionaires. A billion is 1,000,000,000. Multi-millionaire artists, CEOs of the patriarchal sports leagues, multi-millionaire rappers living in gated communities. Yeah, living in gated communities. Yeah, rappers be living in gated communities. Yeah, rappers be living in gated communities. Gated communities. Nah, nah, you don't trick me. Don't trick me. Gated communities, man. Gated communities. Offering the railway workers, truckers, farmers, and all food preparation and production and distribution services such as massage services, food, whatever. So for their recreation and pleasure, where the stadiums, arenas, venues, and other big capacity centers of the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, and MLB. The how, with brains and muscle, and assistance from security, sanitation, hygiene, and professional massage services, therapy personnel. How? Willingly loving volunteers and players and CEOs of the NFL, NHL, NBA, and MLB. So that is one vision, one of an event which I have in mind, and which of course I've written here. I'm gonna read it one more time. So the event is thank you called title of the event would be thank you workers, and it refers specifically to the workers in food production and distribution, the farmers, the truckers, the railway workers, and all involved in the fast food industry and what have you. So the idea is for an appreciation event to last the whole weekend or the whole week, and then do it annually, right? Throughout the collective North American civilization. Appreciation event via pleasure, recreation, and offering, marking the importance of farming, railway work, trucking, and food preparation and distribution for the security, prosperity, ensuring of liberty and joy of the collective North American civilization. What? Offering the farmers, the truckers, the railway workers, and all food production and distribution services workers, massage service, therapy, or spa, or whatever it is, spa. Where? In the stadiums, arenas, venues, others, big capacity centers of the NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB. Who? Willingly loving volunteers and players and the CEOs. You're not getting off, CEOs. You're not getting off, CEOs. Owners of the, you're not getting off. CEOs of the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. How? With brains and muscle, and assistance from security, sanitation, hygiene, professional massage services, therapy personnel. That is an event which I've written here, and which type it. Maybe after this cup of coffee, I'm gonna type it and send myself the email and contact for willingly loving supporters, allies, citizens thereof. Want to support this great event, which yours truly has the plan and the project for such an event, to appreciate the farmers, and the event to be continued. The appreciation of the farmers. the appreciation of the truckers, the appreciation of the railway workers, and all involved in the food production and distribution services. And then it can be to other. That is yours truly's event. So the way I imagine it is, of course, it might be a whole week or a whole weekend, and for the collective North American civilization to have farmers and truckers and railway workers and bipartisan, where even Congress and Parliament can come help out. There's some Parliament, Congress also. So yours truly is here calling for a post-COVID economic, financial, commercial, social, political, geopolitical system by the implementation of my trinity of theories. That's one of the event that my ideas, creative ideas to do as part of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom's World Peace Mission. And of course, first and foremost, because I am a North American, although many past lives I've lived in, many incarnations I'm here, Hawk Island, Montreal, a North American and global LGBTQ rainbow citizen of the world, and was not perfect, far from it, and who woke up a bit moody today, earlier this morning, and still upset that I didn't get my $1 donation via PayPal or commission for work. Stress. The economic, financial, commercial stresses exist. That's why I believe my implementation of trinity of theories and my proposals and creative ideas will bring some solutions. And while admitting that also myself, I want to afford more bacon, since I've been cutting down on a lot of only to necessities. And yes, I want to eat good. I like to eat good. I admit it. I like to drink a little bit of wine from time to time. I want to afford a little bit of wine which I haven't been able to afford during COVID, or some little bit of liquor or whiskey or cognac or rum which I've never tasted before. And of course, to travel to all the collective North American civilization, and to do more. Because of course, money, fundamentally what money is of course a unit of exchange. It enables us to do for ourselves, for others, to have others do, and to build and to maintain civilization. It's a unit of exchange. As much as we can get complex and complicated and overly sophisticated around money, fundamentally its essence, its purpose is to buy and sell goods and services, I believe my DRT debt refusion theory is best at this point in time in order to create the the Universal Exchange Unit by biometrics. The hand, the voice, and the eye are unique biometric identifiers, calling in a public-private partnership with Microsoft, my astrological brother Bill Gates, and governments in collaboration, public-private partnership to do this, and the central banks, and to have a debt refusion, and to create a new financial institution called that issued the UE, at least in the collective North American civilization, and to secure food, housing, and transport, the three essential elements of civilization, which are food, housing, and transport. Once those three elements are secured, we can encourage people and support people and reward people to volunteer, and implement citizen integration theory to see how, for example, the recycling is being done, how the dams here operate. I want to see the dams. Thank you, live a kiss you, past, present, and gonna credit millions of kisses to future Hydro-Quebec workers. Give you all a million kisses. Because the brains and muscles in the past built 63 dams, and maybe we're gonna build some more in my project, to build some more, to have more cleaner renewable energy throughout the collective, and energy security. I believe that it is possible, since the rivers that we have here in Quebec, to build a few more dams to get more energy for the collective North American security civilization, right? I believe it. It's gonna take some brains and muscles, and those with the cement and the steel, and they're gonna need a massage more than me, and a good loving and a good hugging, and a Dragon army to be Be there on the field, east, west, north, south, on the field, east, west, north, south, on the field, east, west, north, south. Thank you, love you, kiss you, work as a Hydro Quebec, past, present, and future. I'm doing this video with a philosophical, artistic video, meditation video, calling all willing loving with this clean, zero pollution, zero emission energy. My coffee machine is utilizing clean, zero pollution, zero emission energy. My smartphone's been plugged early in the morning and I'm utilizing the energy to live stream on Facebook with clean, renewable, zero pollution energy, and my laptop to post it on my YouTube channel, the realest, rawest, revolutionaryest YouTube channel. Average NBA salary. Wow, it's bigger than the NHL and the NFL combined. Listen to this. Average NBA player salary in 2022 of this year is 7.7 million. So it's more than the National Hockey League and the NFL combined, right? Because the NFL was 2.5 average salary and the NHL was right 3.8. So 3.8, 2.5 is about what? It's about 5. That's 5. It's about 6.6. So it's both of them combined. The average salary in the US 2022 is 7.7 million, $7,700,000 per year. That's the average. So some make 6 million, some make 5 million, some make 4 million, some make more than 7.7. 8, some make less, some make around, some make more. Some make 8 million a year, 9 million a year, 10 million a year. Challenging the NBA players to try to do my workouts. Right? What's the game? The game an hour play? How long is, of course, is an hour, right? As in football, NFL, as in NHL. NHL is periods, 20 minutes, one period each, 20 minutes, one period, that's 20 minutes, right? NFL is quarters, 4 times 15, each quarter has 15 minutes. And NBA is, of course, periods. Of course, it can go overtime, but that's more rare. So 7.7 million average salaries. My brothers and sisters, you don't need another house, you got 7. You don't need another car, you got 7. Finance some food security, please. Finance some LGBTQ youth sports, youth services, LGBTQ youth services. That's what I would do. Food security for me, have to resort in the past to food banks, and I've spent years struggling, suffered, depressed, suicidal, you name it, lonely, depressed, suicidal, unhugged, unmassaged, in the, you know, with one foot on the streets, one foot in the libraries. As I've made the libraries of the Hawk Island, Montreal, my second home, and the tens of thousands of books, my friends, tens of thousands of books, my friends, tens of thousands of books, my friends. Have read tens of thousands of books on philosophy, civilization, finance, economics, and I've also written tens of thousands of pages of philosophy, poetry, art, geopolitics, and theory one, of which my trinity of theories, the holy trinity of theories, for the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, the CIT, citizen integration theory, the death refusion theory, DRT, the death refusion theory, and the democratic fusion theory, the DFT. And of course, this trinity of theories I've been given in the past days, weeks, and months in an oral and live stream on Facebook, and many videos on YouTube posted on trinity of theories, which I'm calling the implementation ASAP. So I'm calling all to support the Dragan Zero World Peace Summit, Dragan Zero World Peace Summit, the Dragan Zero World Peace Summit, the Dragan Zero World Peace Summit, where I'm calling all willing and loving to support. That we meet at the corner of Sherbrooke University and we march around the Mount Royal, Hawk Island, steel-toe boots if you want, with the leaders of the free world, me, you, and the leaders of the free world, and discuss the implementation of my trinity of theories and part of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom 7-year Plan for the peace, security, prosperity, and insurance of liberty with some joy and love is action. By the implementation of my trinity of theories and the creation of the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragan Army, with the International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army. You can march and live stream it to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, roundabout. You can do a little bit of dancing, lots of dancing, a lot of hugging, with consent and hygiene, mutual understanding and love. You hug hard. Willingly loving allies and armies, thou art de facto family, all my willingly loving allies and armies. Thou art de facto family, all my willingly loving allies and armies, thou art de facto family. You hug hard for me. My love for my allies and armies, which are family. I see you with consent and hygiene, do good exercise, physical exercise, workout, train exercise, and channel and sublimate the aggression, channel and sublimate the emotions and the feelings, and to do constructive towards with love and understanding, with love and understanding, with love and understanding, because sometimes love is action. Love is action most of the times. For me, love is action. It requires some action. My own healing and transformation has and will require action as day of action. Yes, I love you also. Yes, I love you also. I love you also. Average NFL salary, MLB salary. MLB salary. What is the MLB salary? A little less than the NBA. The average earnings of an MLB player, Major League Baseball, is 4.41 million. It's still higher than the NHL and still higher than the NFL. But NBA average salary, so meaning some make less, some make around 7.7 million, 7,700,000, some make more. The average salaries. So when I say that there's no women's sports leagues, which makes even close economically, financially, commercially, money, money, money. This is it, my brothers and sisters. This is it. So players in the NBA who make millions and CEOs, please finance some women's sports leagues. Finance some women's sports leagues. Finance some women's sports leagues. They play great. Soccer, hockey. Give them 10%. Are you willing to give 10% to women's sports league to what you made during COVID? I love the crow singing at my window. I love the crow which sings as my window. Priestess said a goddess, I say goddess. They don't really like it. They say God and never goddess, so I got goddess it. Name is Isis, dances with her brother's son, and I'm a piece of dust. Dancing, yeah, gutless, yeah, get moody, get emotional, rock and roll, nobody hugging anymore. Boom boom, nuclear warheads, let's get it over with, yo. Gonna get another cup of coffee. It's 11 a.m. Make love tonight is the main message. 11 a.m. Who made a million on the stock market today? Buy, sell, trade. My willingly loving allies and armies, I credit you millions of kisses, millions of hugs. You hug hard today, man. Yourself a good hug. So I could imaginary friend gonna convoke. Oh yeah, that's what I need. I get a second cup of coffee and we're gonna continue this morning art, loving meditation with yours truly here in each Dragonborn died during COVID, being reborn, Adrian Hana Dragon. Coffee refill, 11 a.m. exactly 11 a.m. in the morning. It's exactly 11 a.m. in the morning. Gonna get my second dual cup of coffee. I am thankful, grateful that my rent is paid in full. In this 20th of September, my rent is paid in full. My electricity bill is also paid in full. And my electricity bill being paid in full, my rent is paid in full. Got coffee. Cup of coffee. Thank you, love you, kiss you, hug you, farmers. Thank you, love you, kiss you, farmers, truckers. Thank you, love you, kiss you, farmers and truckers. Thank you, love you, kiss you, farmers. Thank you, love you, kiss you, farmers, butchers, bakers, daycare workers, nurses, doctors, construction workers, farmers, widows getting dirty for us to eat. To build, maintain civilization, love you, kiss you, hug you, farmers. Across the collective North American civilization, thank you, love you, kiss you, farmers. Give you credit, millions of kisses and hugs to the farmers of across this collective North American civilization. Because everybody gotta eat with food. We build, maintain, or upgrade civilization with food. We build, maintain, or upgrade civilization with food. We build, maintain, or upgrade civilization. And thank you, love you, kiss you, hug you, construction workers. Thank you, love you, kiss you, construction workers, nurses, doctors, railway workers. Railways is an integral part of constructing, building the collective North American civilization. Building the collective North American civilization, railways, built in more than 156 years, have played an integral role to build all the civilization. And everybody gotta eat, myself included. And as much as spirituality we can attain or give a lecture on spirituality and meditation, we gotta eat. We gotta eat. We gotta eat. And that food for me is sanctifying. It is holy, sacred, and divine. And the motto of the dancing god is, of course, army, which you can see there. The emblem here, that all fruits, vegetables, and legumes are made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother sun. All the fruits, vegetables, and legumes are made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother sun, including this black coffee bean, which was made from a red berry initially, was made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother sun. All the fruits, vegetables, and legumes were made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother sun, that our brothers and sisters farmers harvest for us to make, upgrade, and maintain civilization. Even the politicians, prime minister, presidents, also gotta eat. CEOs of the patriarchal sports leagues, multi-billionaires. What y'all gonna have for lunch? What y'all have for breakfast? I'm having black coffee for breakfast. I'm having black coffee for breakfast. I'm having black coffee for breakfast. Sure, I got stress. I get moody. I woke up, like I said, early this morning and a bit upset. I couldn't afford it, and nobody made an offer to buy my red scarf, black hoodie, or black pants, or red shirt, red shorts that I'm auctioning and selling online. I'm a work in progress. Work, work, work. Volunteer, volunteer. I'm looking for volunteers, supporters, cooperators, and allies. The dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom with some action. My social media policy is some constructive criticism. If you have something constructive or an alternative course of action, please do. And I'm welcome to constructive criticism. And I know I have that lower aspect of self, you know. I don't want to do anything out of resentment. I want to be loved, and I want to love. I want my allies and armies to do some good loving for me, because I love seeing you love. And it brings me joy when I walk in public and I see couples hugging, kissing, and you love extra for me. If I'm getting no massages, no kisses, that's okay. If my allies and armies get them, it brings me some joy. Brings me some joy. You love hard for me. You hug hard for me. You kiss, take from my kisses and my hugs, and you hug and kiss hard, good for me, you know. 800 Dragan, 11:05 a.m. Who made $1 million on stock market profit today? Stock market's been open for 93 minutes. It's the thing, Wall Street, Wall Street, Wall Street. 93 minutes. Stock market, buy, sell, trade, commodities, options, futures, puts. Options, puts, futures, commodities. I know, money, money, money. Well, what is money? Money is a unit of exchange, a unit of exchange basically to buy and sell, basically to buy and sell, buy and sell. For all I know, by the time that I make this video, end this video in about half an hour or so, finishing my artistic philosophical meditation call to all. Eleven 07 a.m. Oh, I got a burst of Sunday today, some sunshine, sun rays today. So the average salary of an MLB player in 2022 is 4.41 million. So I put this call, if I'm calling for them to give 10% CEOs of the profits they made on players, since the average salary, 10% of the average salary of those millions is good 100,000, right? For the NBA is 700,000, for the MLB is 400,000, for the NHL is 380,000, for the NFL is 250,000 each. But you would give, say during COVID, what they made, right? Would they give? That would make a good millions to the women's sports leagues. I make that call. Will they give it? I understand. I know. I have a side that's self-interested as well. I admit I'm not totally selfless. Totally selfless. I'm not totally selfless. I said I wanna. If I would afford it, I would have even volunteers to get massage therapy services every week, right? Because I work out harder than many of the athletes, multi-millionaire athletes. You check my workouts, challenging them to do them. Push up for push up, squat for squat, hop for hop. Yeah, you work out, but you don't Dragan work out though. You work out, but you don't Dragan work out. You work out, but you don't Dragan work out, man. You know? Show me. Show me some. Try to do my workout, General War Integrated Body Training System. Now that we're on the topic of fitness as an independent fitness captain and the people's athlete, my workout is simple, straightforward, and direct. I've created it in October. October 17 was the first session of the workout training program which I've created and which have performed more than 290 sessions. I'm at my yesterday did 294th. So I got 6 to go. At 300, I said that is the initial goal for me to complete 300 of these workouts. I've done with special football, North American football, gridiron drills recently. So I've done specials. I've also done during the summer specials in the sun, more than doubles, 2 hour, even 2 hour and a half long workouts, right? And of course, working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice. Have been, and will continue to mass call for the mass financing of people to work out, to train, and to exercise, for the mass financing of people to work out, to train, and to exercise, which has been, is, and will continue to be my medicine and my therapy. Working out, training, exercising. Once I get that sweat, that's when I always feel joyous, always feel much better, always feel in a good mood when I work out, train, exercise. I've created this workout training program which requires no equipment. It is simple, effective, and efficient. It requires no equipment. I wonder, I'm challenging the athletes in the patriarchal sports leagues of the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. Before, try to do my workout within the rules. Y'all multi-millionaires making millionaire athletes. You're supposed to Be to do it easy, right? Be to do it easy, be to do it easy. Well, these are the rules. 93 minutes are allocated for one to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and 100 hawks. The holy, sacred, and divine trinity. Push-ups, hawks, squats. Hawks, push-up, squats. Squats, push-up, hawks. Push-ups, squats, hawks. In whatever order. Whatever order. There's no prescribed order. You gotta reach 100 for each though. 13 maximum repetitions per set are allowed. 3 minimum. 13 and 3 they go together. You can do anywhere in between 13. You can do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, whatever the number is, until you get to 100. In between each set, there's a minimum requirement of a minimum of 31 seconds of marching or jogging or running or walking fast pace. That's required, a minimum of marching or jogging or running or walking fast pace. That is required in between each set. So in other words, once you start the 93-minute countdown, that's an hour and a half and 3 minutes, there is no pause. There is no stop. You gotta keep it in motion continuously until you finish 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hawks, 13 repetitions maximum per set, 3 minimum reps per set. Anywhere in between, you can do it differently every time. 7, 6, 5, 9, 10, until you get to 100. You're gonna have to calculate, because to get to 100, right? You gotta do 100. So if you get to 99, you can't do 1. You got to do a minimum 3. So you do a little bit over. You get to 98 and vice versa. 97, you can do minimum 3. So those are the rules. And the minimum of 31 seconds is required of marching or jogging or running or walking fast pacing between each set. So once you start the countdown of 93 minutes, in theory, you can start right away by doing 13 push-ups or 13 squats or 13 hawks. Because within those rules, which are defined by 4 main numbers of the rules of the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragan Army workout, these are rules that are effective and efficient, and it requires no equipment, and you can do it differently every time. That's the beauty of it. I'm averaging about an hour. Recently, I've been doing specials, and they're longer. They're an hour and a half, and so because I'm been doing specials, so I've been doing extra General War Integrated Total Body Training System. But those are the rules. I wonder if the multi-millionaire athletes can do it within those rules, because it's about an hour average, so it's about what they would play on the court, right? On the NHL, on the NFL, NBA, right? MLB is different because it's innings, so it can be 3-hour long games, but the intensity and the what's required, squats, push-ups, and hawks. And this workout increases general overall fitness. My workout increases general overall fitness. My workout increases general overall fitness. It was paradoxically designed and created and made me in parallel to being a geopolitical analyst and theorist. Me being a geopolitical analyst and theorist. And also a world peace advocate, but a geopolitical analyst and theorist who, after taking into consideration all the elements which had transpired globally, internationally, worldwide, I'm referring to the geopolitical analysis, which back in 2019 in October, I've come to the conclusion back then in October 2019 that humanity, my brothers and sisters, we are again on a path towards another international conflagration, aka World War III. After taking into analysis the US-China trade war as a major geopolitical event which has had major repercussions and had deteriorated Sino-Western, Sino-Canadian, Sino-North American relations, the US-China trade war started by Donald Trump. Now, nothing personal against Donald Trump. I want to fight him and discuss geopolitics and securing prosperity, collective North American civilization, and XYZ factors. But first, I want to box him in a boxing match. I am upset and don't like that Donald Trump did not admit coming from wealth, being born with a silver spoon. Well, I just got a surname. I've been on my own for many years, and here I am. Having survived depression, having survived being suicidal, having survived COVID 3 times. I had it. I am triple vaccinated, and I encourage all to please increase in hygiene in public. Wash your hands with soap and water. Disinfect with hand sanitizer. Wash your hands with soap and water. Disinfect with hand sanitizer. Wash your hands with soap and water. Disinfect with hand sanitizer. Wash your hands with soap and water and hand sanitizer. So back then in 2019 October, I've analyzed geopolitical, and while admitting that I'm average at certain things such as basketball, perhaps I suck at it. I'm so-so at other things. I am mediocre at others, being mediocre average, so-so at some things, some skills, some competences. I am great at geopolitical analysis and theory. Now analyzing geopolitical trends from different perspective of a cultural, financial, economic nature, historical antecedents of conflicts past, and of course current geopolitical events, and taking into consideration XYZ factors. I can analyze in depth, profound geopolitical analysis and trends in the past due to past historical events, due to the leadership, to the structures of XYZ. I am excellent, super great at that geopolitical analysis, such as I believe my theories are gold. Although I'm broke, my workouts, my theory, my philosophy, my art, and my workouts and my is gold. My art, my philosophy, my theories is gold. Although I'm broke, my art, philosophy, theory is gold. And geopolitical analysis, I am top. As an independent student scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, and civilizations, and right here, independent artist, athlete, and activist. Raps on the ground hobby more than the for farmers, truckers, butchers, bakers, grocery store clerks, nurses, doctors, rap for them. For farmers, everybody get his son. 11:18 a.m. Who made $1 million on the stock market? Been open almost 2 hours now. Not yet. Please give 10% to food security. So analyzing geopolitical events back in 2019, had come to the conclusion of humanity, brothers and sisters, we are again on a path towards another international conflagration. And so created, made, and designed the aforementioned General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragan Army workout, to go hand in hand with a world with such a scenario, such as geopolitical scenario where the normal course of civilization as we know it or had known it for decades would cease. It would be a World War III. My scenario was a World War III scenario. My is and it's ongoing because on the timeline of me doing the workouts, my scenario until I reach 300. Because after 300 sessions, and I've done 294, I'll reach perhaps the maximum total potential of development by just that workout. And then it will have to be, if you want to increase more strength, more fitness, more, you have to do others in parallel. But keep in mind that my workout was designed, created, and made to increase general overall fitness. So it was not made specifically for aesthetics purposes. It was not necessarily made for aesthetic purposes, to look good, although it does. If you do it, it does. In balance with diet and other factors, of course. If you want to lose weight, I've lost more than 77 pounds on a fitness journey. Greatest investment habit, greatest change in my life has been working out, training, exercising regularly. Regular physical activity has been the greatest change in my life. Change that was much needed, and sometimes it's blood, sweat, and tears, and sometimes it's hard to get into it, but it's the best. That's why I have been and will continue to advocate for the mass financing of people to work out, to train, and to exercise. By public-private partnership, by National Dragan Army, by National Dragan Army, by National Dragan Army. And while I cooperate with the multi-millionaire athletes, I'm challenging for them to do my workout if they can, and to encourage citizens events, and to increase in physical education, fitness in the schools, to do more workout training and exercising, more physical education for the schools. And I have the dancing goddess and the dragon educational protocols where more dancing is. You have some dancing weekend or 2 days where some dancing sports is allowed, where students are just allowed to have the gymnasium and to dance, to get the sweat and to go crazy a bit, to go wild, and with certain rules and parameters, not of course certain rules and parameters and regulations, but to have more physical exercise, in other words, in high school, even at a young age. Even as I am an aspiring children books writer, I wrote a few children's books. I knocked at some doors. I try and get a literary agent, blah blah. I've been disillusioned with organizations, proposals, not only a lot of blah blah and red tape, and I've been. Anyways, here I am again now. here I am now. Today, Carpe Diem. So my geopolitical analysis and theory had come to the conclusion that we're on a path towards international conflagration of World War III. In other words, have created, made, and designed my workout to go specifically with such a scenario where the mobilization of a mass citizenry is required, where the mobilization of a mass citizenry is required, where the mobilization of a mass citizenry required, and we're of course working out, training, and exercising, working out, training, and exercising, working out, training, and exercising, working out, training, and exercising to increase the general overall fitness for a mass population. In this case, my focus, of course, North America, because I'm a citizen and a geopolitical analyst and theorist and philosopher who, of course, theory, which I believe to be true, that we North Americans in North America, we constitute a collective North American civilization. Not collective meaning that it has common denominators and it's, simply put, it's emerging and has risen from the Second World War. My geopolitical analysis and theory states that it has arisen from the Second World War, and from the Second World War due to a response to Western civilization being a sort of at war, in a civil war within itself, Western civilization back then, and has arisen in response to the fact that there was no conflict in North America between different nation states and political entities. Its beginnings, origins, inception, spawns, birth is in the Second World War, the beginning, and then infrastructure builds such as the railways, highways, and dealings and commerce and trade and culture, and has over the decades the collective North American civilization has arisen. So my theories and philosophies was, keep in mind, is first and foremost I'm open to world peace, global, act local, think global for sure. I have been calling for, and I'm a world peace advocate, but here I am on the island, Hawk Island. I do here is Hawk Island, Montreal. We're surrounded by a big river metropolis. I'm of course a Quebecer. I love the French language. I write poetry, philosophy, and of course I have a project in French, which is one of the languages of the collective North American civilization, in parallel with, of course, Spanish, French, and English. We have mainly by most speakers. Of course, we have Creole in Haiti. Haiti has Creole, and of course, Cuba has some flavor of Spanish. And by inclusion of Cuba in the collective North American civilization, the paradox of Cuba. So one segment of my theory is dedicated to the paradox of Cuba's inclusion in the collective North American civilization. So my workout, keep in mind, was created with that point, with that paradox, to go hand in hand with such a scenario where gymnasiums would be closed as they were closed during COVID, where economic, financial, commercial crises would be, where, such as we have today, as a matter of fact, geopolitical crises, a World War III scenario, with all the implications that it goes. So keep in mind that it was created, made, and designed to go with such a scenario. So I've performed more than 290 sessions, the first sessions of the workout of the training program which I've created, and I'm proud to have created a workout which requires no equipment. It was simple, effective, and efficient workout program that increases general overall fitness, and I've performed more than 290, and it requires no equipment, and it increases general overall fitness. It's meant to do that, to increase general overall fitness, and of course have been, and will call for the mass financing of people to work out, to train, exercise citizens by a public-private partnership with corporations, organizations, and institutions, and of course my dream that I'm calling for the creation of the Dragan Army, the creation for my dream, the Dragan Army, the creation of my dream, the Dragan Army, to being complementary in a covenant cooperative way with the Dancing Goddess Army, which officially is International Integrated Dance League, that I'm calling ASAP, to be implemented in across the collective North American civilization, and the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragan Army, to be for service and security, with consent and hygiene, mutual understanding and love, to offer all the services that can be offered, with consent, hygiene, mutual understanding and love, and principle that harm none, services such as cleaning, cooking, helping with the children, taking them a half an hour to work out, to train, exercise, because they're too hyperactive, they need to dance a bit, they need to push-ups, to do some push-ups, some squats, to play some football, to play some soccer, whatever it is, to do some physical exercise, and the parents need some dragons to help with the children, to help with the cooking, the cleaning, to help with things of maintaining and hopefully upgrading civilization. All services, all services, all services. Even offering the farmers or the truckers who a massage, and I envision it. Truckers coming from driving 11 hours, they need to take a break, and if there's some dragons units east, west, north, south, they say, hey, can a dragon give me some good massage there because my neck's killing me, and paycheck don't make it cut enough for me to afford it, so I would need a dragon to take care of some business, take care of some, yeah, you know, we got your back, trucker, we love you, we love you, we love you, you know. I love his action. Service and security for service and security for service and security. To be the Dragon Army for service and security. For service and security, the Dragon Army to be for service and security. All services with consent, hygiene, mutual understanding, and love with consent, hygiene, mutual understanding, and LOV. With principle that harm none, with the principle that harm none, with the principle that harm none, principle coupled with hygiene, cleanliness, mutual understanding, and love, and consent. What can you do? What can I do? I can do all that. Cook, I can clean, I can march, I can read, I can paint, I can got some brain and some muscle. And the Dragon Army, I'll be east, west, north, south, I'll be there hugging and massaging and whoever wants, because that's what the Dragon Army offers. With applications, apps, online, with smartphones, and all public and private partnership to offer those. Listening to the children. I love hearing the children laughing, enjoying. That's the anthem of the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. That's the anthem of the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, is hearing and the sounds of children playing and loving and laughing. That's the anthem of the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. Children loving, laughing, and playing without on music, sounds, instrumentals, but no lyrics. That's my the dancing goddess and the Dragon Kingdom's anthem is children, youth, adolescents loving, laughing on sounds of nature with sounds of nature and music. For the youth, for the youth, for the youth. So that is my call to all in a generalized way to support the Dragon Army, officially international citizen integrated social security and service force, to be for service and security. First and foremost across the collective North American civilization, integrated with all existing public and private organizations and institutions, public security organizations and institutions, with all public security institutions and organizations, with all public security institutions and organizations. No need to spy on me, RCMP, RCMP, RCP, CSIS, NSA, CIA, FBI, FSB, former KGB, FSB, former KGB, FSB, former KGB, Stasi. Well, Stasis are gone after 1989 because Germany reunified, and the Stasi were the secret police of the Eastern Germany for 42 years, notorious. Mossad. No. I watch a little bit of pornography, adult movies, but I only, for the past months, I've been setting a discipline, rules, and regulations. I'm only gonna watch a little bit during the Sabbath, which begins Friday at midnight and ends Sunday at 3. The Sabbath of the Dancing Goddess in the Dragon Kingdom ends Friday at midnight, and Sunday begins Friday at midnight and ends Sunday about 3 p.m. And of course is the Sabbath for recreation, rejuvenation, and purpose. Some more pleasure that this is all part of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom's norms, culture. For pleasure with dancing, drinking, and loving, dancing, drinking, and loving, dancing, and resting, dancing, resting, and resting. 11:31 a.m. here in the morning. 11:31 here a.m. in the morning. 11:31 a.m. 2 hours. Stock market has been open. Who made $1 million profit on the stock market today? Buy, sell, trade stocks in these 2 hours. Who made $1 million on the stock market today? Buy, sell. Well, to my willing, loving allies and armies, pledge your allegiance, I give you all 1,000,000 kisses. To my willing, loving allies and armies, pledge your allegiance, I give you all 1,000,000 kisses. To my willing, loving allies and armies, I credit you all 1,000,000 kisses. But if you did make $1 million on the stock market profit today, please, Mr. Fink, Black Hawk, in the Wall Street, please give 10% for food security, mass finance, food security. LGBTQ youth sports, women's sports leagues, patriarchal sports athletes of the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, MLB. I want to see that event where we have an appreciation for those working, the farmers, truckers, workers, and then do it every year across the collective North American civilization. To, of course, have the mass where the stadiums, arenas, venues, and of course big sports venues, big capacity centers, venues, arenas, stadiums across the collective North American civilization to have it. Well, we have the event where the players in the NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, along with the owners and volunteers, where we offer appreciation and recreation for the in cooperation with the hotels and they have a stay, have their food paid, their spas taken care of for their pleasure and recreation, for the farmers, railway workers, truckers, and all those involved in the production and distribution of food, even the butchers, even the bakers, even those across those fast food joints. I'm not gonna name them because you know who they are. I'm not gonna name them because you know who they are. I'm not gonna name them because you know who they are. That's an annual event that I want to see across the collective North American civilization. Show me something. I mean, those stadiums one time a year where the players offer. The farmer might say, I don't like to be touched. I'm just going to come enjoy a spa, stay in a spa, stay in a hotel and watch others the event or participate in whatever. Somebody say, oh yeah, I couldn't afford one. I get a whole week to get a massage by the players, multi-millionaire players of the NBA. Get there, do some, see that event. Pleasure and recreation, because the body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. And how do we invest in it? Working out, training, exercising, taking care of the body. Myself had to and have, if not somebody makes a donation or get a volunteer to give me a weekly massage therapy service. Gonna have to take a bath, gonna have to immerse in a bath. Oh yeah. Substitute. I'm thankful, grateful that I can get a bath and heat it. And I heated the warm water by clean, renewable, zero pollution, zero emission energy. Then I'm gonna clean the bath. Take a bath, take a good bath. And then I take a good bath. That's the substitute, a replacement. It's an alternative. So I'm calling all willingly living in this morning, 11:34 a.m. in the morning, to support the implementation of my trinity of theories, citizen integration theory, which of course is summarized that with the Dragan army and the dancing goddess army in cooperation, collaboration, and covenant cooperative way, to encourage citizens and support and have them see citizens, to fight alienation by citizen integration, to fight alienation by citizen integration, to fight alienation by citizen integration. Take the children and the youth and the adults to see, for example, how farming is done. I live in big metropolis. Although I've done urban farming, I've harvested the fruits of my labor, but to see, for example, how farming is done, how the food goes, those farms, wow, look at this big potato farm, good wheat farm. See how the dams operate here, 63 dams across this labelle province of Quebec, where operate for me to do clean, renewable, zero emission energy, to call all willingly loving. I'm utilizing for the coffee, brew this coffee by clean, renewable, zero pollution energy. All the schools, all the traffic lights, all the electricity that we use, from electricity from my smartphone that had been plugged in earlier, from the laptop, from the light above my head, I'm using clean, renewable, zero pollution energy. See how those 63 dams work where they are. See, for example, how railway works. See where recycling is, where the recycling goes. The recycling plant, to see the garbage, where does it go, how does it get processed. I know it gets picked every week. Get organized with those sanitation workers of the city to see how that goes. Citizen integration theory. From all aspects of civilization, from the recycling and the taking of the garbage, to the farming, to the theaters, to the art, to the arts world, see how the theater operates. All things to citizen integration theory across all levels of civilization. citizen integration theory across all levels of civilization, security, right? The word public security and the maintenance of food, housing, and transport, with a Dragan army to encourage people to work out, train, exercise, which has been, is, and will continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice. Working out, training, exercising to be my medicine and therapy of choice. Working out, training, exercising to be my medicine and therapy of choice. For the youth, for the 21st century, and for mental health as well, because we feel more integrated and we volunteer so that we have and build and hopefully maintain hopefully, and even double hopefully, to upgrade civilization, to go towards the stars, east, west, north, south. By these two complementary covenant cooperative institutions, the Dancing Goddess Army International Integrated Dance League, organized dances for pleasure and then purpose for environmental education. Dancing Goddess Army to see that more recycling is done the better way, the proper way, composting is done more the better way, clean the oceans, Here we got two oceans. The collective North American civilization. That way is the east. That's the Atlantic. That way is the west. That way is the west for me. That way is the west. That way is the Pacific. Here we got forests. That's cleaning in the cities. They're biodegradable. Some are not biodegradable, right? So education and action to be the dancing god. I'm for pleasure, to dance for pleasure. The Dancing Goddess Army, aka the International Integrated Dance League. Integrate all gender, all ages, all sexual orientation, inclusive. Founded the Dancing Goddess in the Dragon Kingdom by yours truly, Adonana Dragon, androgynous pansexual founder thereof. How can you support? How can you volunteer? How can you do? Type, do, X, Y, Z. Love is action. As it is 11:38 a.m. here in the morning. I'm gonna do a lot of work today. Gonna write some more emails. And first we're gonna check. Also because citizen integration theory, like I said, is via the two complementary covenant cooperative institutions of the Dancing Goddess Army, officially the International Integrated Dance League, with the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, to be for service and security, the Dragan Army, and to be integrated with all existing public and private institutions and organizations and public security forces, to be integrated across all levels of civilization and organization. That's my call to all. That is my call to all. To have these two complementary covenant cooperative institutions, east, west, north, south, integrated across all levels of civilization, and to be for education and action, and fight alienation by CIT, citizen integration theory, with the Dragan Army dancing on its own, to see how we take citizens to go explore how recycling is done, how farming is done, how the dams, see some of those dams. There's 63 of them, so there's a lot of dams to see. How many have never seen them, myself included? I know where they are and how they operate a little bit, XYZ. I can always learn more. Constant education and action. Action has been required in my own healing, and will be required in my own healing and transformation, and will be required in yours, right? It's 11:40 a.m. here in the morning. Calling all willingly loving. He was still independent artist, activist, athlete. Sometimes athlete first, activist, or not artist after. AAA plus other dimensions. Citizen integration theory, like I said, to encourage citizenry to go see, in partnership with all existing private and public organizations and institutions, how farming is done, how manufacturing is done, how trains operate, how the dams operate, how recycling is done, how compost is done, how where the garbage goes, right? Because we know it's being taken every week, but where does it go with that big machine? How does it compost? All these things that interconnect us to do better, to XYZ, to fight alienation by citizen integration theory, CIT. And then we have also, and by debt refusion theory, taking over private and public debt, my private debt, I admit I got $10,000 owed to the RBC. Hopefully I get a commission for some dancing, maybe this weekend. Hold dancing for a few hours, 10,000. Hold down for a few hours, 10,000. This weekend, hold dancing like you never seen. Best bet on that. Like you never seen dancing like this. No, you never seen dancing like that. No, you never seen dancing like that. You have to see dancing. I know all genres of music: soundtrack, classic, rap, rock, jazz. For what piece? Jazz, rock, jazz, rock, whatever the music is. So to dance. Maybe I'll get a commission. The NFL is gonna call me. Come do a dance for us this week. Maybe CFL gonna call. Do a dance. I knock. You knock for me. Dance. See Dragan dance. Dragan workout. Allies, armies, volunteer. You Dragan army. Dragon volunteers. See the dance. You gotta see the workout. You gotta do this. Do on my behalf and be rewarded. Being for kisses, hugs. Do on my behalf and give you his kisses, hugs on my behalf. Allies, armies. Called Dragon army. Kisses, hugs. So dancing, maybe I'll get that 10,000. I'm gonna be able to pay my debt, and then, but still calling for debt refusion theory nonetheless. Even if I pay my debt and I become millionaire overnight, I'm still gonna advocate for this, for others, millions of others, for the greater good, which I am. While I do wanna get a good bacon, afford milk, at least weekly, get a cake. It's been a while since I haven't eaten a cake. A good chocolate mousse cake, I admit it. A good whiskey, a good cognac. These are. Can you do? What can I do? A good massage therapy service and a Dragon Army dancing goddess on me. So CIT, integrate across all levels of civilization, from economic, social, security, and cultural integration, and form of all citizens to fight alienation and debt refusion theory, taking all debt. My private debt is X. If private debt is represented by X, and if I'm X1, you're X2, and there's hundreds of thousands of X's across the world, across North American collective, millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions across NATO and what Israel, taking all private debt, and there's gonna have to be a conversion of the to US dollars, because my theory is to take Canadian dollars, pesos, Israeli new shekels, and of course others, to convert it into the US dollars. So we're gonna do a little bit of education now. We're gonna see. So debt refusion theory is taking all private and public debt, including mine. If I'm X1, you're X2, and there's hundreds of thousands, millions, tens of millions across the collective North American civilization, NATO member countries in Israel and beyond, South America, Central America, Africa, my brothers and sisters in the Middle East. I'm calling all willingly living from the collective North American civilization, Hawk Island and beyond. And of course, debt refusion theory, taking my private debt if I don't pay it by, because the first thing I do when I get money, and what is money, around the topic of my theory, which is of a monetary, financial, commercial manner, is money. What is money? Unit of exchange, to trade, to buy, to sell, to buy, fundamentally to buy and sell services and goods, fundamentally to buy and sell services and goods, fundamentally to buy and services and goods. So my debt refusion theory is to be implemented in order to create a new global international currency called the UE, Universal E Exchange Unit, UE, preferred by biometrics. The hand, the voice, and unique biometric identifiers with the eyes, of course, the unique biometric identifiers and scans. And of course, taking all private and public debt. If my private debt is 10,000 and yours is whatever the number is, 100,000, million, whatever the number is, public-private, and we're gonna have to refuse it, to take all that number and convert it into US dollars, because Canadian dollar is not equivalent to the US dollar. The Mexican peso is not equivalent to the US dollar either. The Deutsche Mark is gone. The Deutschland, Germany no longer functions with the mark. They have euros now and Israeli new shekels. So let's see. Let's check. because they will have to be made the conversion to US dollars, because the UE will be based, since the US is still the international currency of choice. But merging this, I'm creating something similar to the euro, but with the willingly loving euro, and the collective North American civilization first and foremost, the collective North American civilization first and foremost, the collective North American civilization. So the UE. So let's see, Canadian dollar for US dollar. The Canadian dollar for US dollar. Oh, it went down again. The past 2 weeks. Last week it went down a cent, and the other week it was 77 cents US. So one Canadian dollar today is the equivalent of 75 US cents. So it went down another cent. It went down another cent. Because we're gonna have to convert all the debt refusion theory. Take all Canadian debt, Mexican debt, euro, whoever, all willingly living in Israel and NATO. My protocol, of course, my called Genesis 33, and Genesis 33, based on the story Genesis 33, where the twins Jacob and Esau embrace and kiss after a long period of separation. The twins Jacob and Esau kiss after a long period of separation. So one Canadian dollar is the equivalent of 75 cents US. So that is gonna have to be that conversion is gonna have to be made in the US dollars and Canadian. Let's see, US dollar to peso. Mexican peso. 1 US dollar is the equivalent to exactly 20 Mexican peso today. 1 US dollar is the equivalent exactly 20 peso, exactly, today. I believe last week it was different because it varies every day, it changes every day, it fluctuates every day. Across the borders now, goods flowing, international export, and of course there's definite numbers to how many goods and services now, truckers across the collective North American. You can do a meditation how many have crossed the borders from Mexico, US with goods, and vice versa with avocados, with whatever goods, US dollar. So 1 US dollar is the equivalent to 20 Mexican peso. 1 US dollar to euro. Let's see. Euro. 1 US dollar is exactly 1 euro today. Still, it was last week the same, 2 weeks ago it was the same. It was at parity. What's called in finance parity, currency parity, equality, meaning 1 for 1. 1 US dollar is the equivalent of 1 euro today. So before COVID and during COVID, it was the euro. It was much higher than the US by about 15, 20, even more than 20%. Right? 1 euro was $1 and about 20 cents. For the past, the euro has been more valued than the dollar for more than 20 years. Now it has dropped. Some link it to the current geopolitical events, to the US, to the geopolitical events in Europe, with the energy crisis due to the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, the geopolitical crisis for Ukraine, Russia, my brothers. We need to channel the aggression. We need to come to resolutions, breaking the impasse in the 21st century. Mass finance will work out, train, exercise, the Dragon Army, As I am calling for an immediate ceasefire, of course. As I am calling for an immediate ceasefire. So 1 US dollar is the equivalent of euro. Let's see now Israeli new shekel. So Israel has what's called new Israeli shekel. So 1 US dollar is the equivalent of 3.45, almost 3.5 new Israeli shekels. So 1 US dollar is the equivalent of 3.45 new Israeli shekel. 1 US dollar is the equivalent, as of today, 3.45 new Israeli shekels. So almost 3.5 shekel. New Israeli shekels. So that is, we done the conversion. So we have to do all that conversion, whatever the number is. It's in the trillions, and with that number, the equivalent in US dollars, credit, the initial credit of this new global financial institution, the national central bank, if you will, the universal central bank, and put my protocol, my proposition, and my program is to have a maximum of 10% interest charge on all loans, business loans, service loans, all loans, student loans, all loans thereafter. After we have this DRT, debt refusion theory, implemented for this what I'm calling for a 7-year rejuvenation, recreation, repleasure plan for 7-year rejuvenation, recreation, and rejuvenation plan. First and foremost, for the collective North American civilization, 7-year plan. To complementary covenant institution, a 7-year program. And I'll be east, west, north, south, marching. I'll work out, train, exercise. Work out, train, exercise, encourage people to work out, train, exercise, and I'll march east, west, north, south. And a lot of dancing with that, a lot of dancing. And with consent and hygiene, encourage people to love, love, love. And of course, secure food, housing, and transport, secure food, housing, and transport, secure food, housing, and transport. And hopefully maintain and upgrade civilization, maintain and upgrade civilization, maintain and upgrade civilization. We're taking all the debt, the collective North American civilization in the US, the Canadian dollars, the peso, the euros, the Israeli new shekels, convert it to create this new currency, the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit. The Universal Exchange Unit stands for acronym U dot E dot U dot. Universal, E for exchange, and unit, U for unit. The UE, the UE, the UE. Preferably by biometrics, the hand, the voice, and the are unique biometric identifiers. So that is the DRT, debt refusion theory. Debt refusion theory, that is the debt refusion theory. And I'm calling all willingly loving to support and implement and support in any way, shape, capacity, advocacy, financing, volunteering, writing online, the trinity of theories which I've given orally. And democratic fusion theory, DFT, democratic fusion theory, is of course via the two complementary and covenant and cooperative institutions to secure and ensure liberty, and securing and ensure freedom. But freedom is a double-edged sword, which I admit with my tiny hands is too heavy to lift the double-edged sword of freedom by my hand. So, perhaps my sister helps, perhaps my sister is willing to help, perhaps my sisters willing to help, because it sometimes takes responsibility, duties, and obligations. My duty, obligation, and responsibility to fully pay my rent for September has been fulfilled. It's already September 20th, 2 more days of summer officially. My electricity bill has been paid, so food paid, electricity bill has been paid in full, electricity bill has been paid in full, and rent has been paid in full. So I've fulfilled my duty, obligation, and responsibility with that. I'm here in my underground room off Sun Temple. I can turn everything off, go off social media, turn everything off, close the blinds, put music, get naked, start dancing on Tekashi 6ix9ine, Kanye West, and Madonna music, and dance a naked dance on Madonna, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Kanye West music, Kanye West, Madonna, Tekashi 6ix9ine music, not all at the same time, and dance naked. My price for a naked dance is 1 hour, 1 million. My price for a naked dance is 1 hour, 1 million. My price for a naked dance is 1 hour, 1 million. I don't have an OnlyFans, but that's the price. And first and foremost, with the money, will pay my rent, my debt. My rent's paid. My rent's paid. My rent's paid. Pay all my debt, $10,000 to the RBC. I don't want to owe nobody nothing. I want to love and love and do and do and do with my willingly loving allies and armies. I want to do and love my willingly loving allies and armies. The Art family. I want to do and love with all my willingly loving allies and armies. The Art family. I want to get rid of my debt. Finance my sister's art, because she's my anonymous sister is a great artist, and finance her art. Give her a little bit because she deserves it. I'll give her $500,000 if I get one. I'll give her $500,000 if I give her $500,000 to my willingly loving anonymous sister if I make one. So it's 11:56 a.m. here in the EST, and So the debt refusion theory we have discussed, it's taking all private and public debt as my private citizen is X, and if X is represented the private debt, taking all X is X1 plus X2 plus XXX's across Canada, US, Mexico, and beyond, across the collective North American civilization, all the public and the private debt. Gonna have to do whatever the money is in Canadian dollars, you pay Mexican pesos, euros, Israeli new shekels, convert it, do the conversion like I've done. The conversion, what's called forex, foreign exchange. The US dollars, peg it to the US dollars, peg it to the US dollars. That number, credit the global central bank and financial, new universal financial system and international financial system with that debt. And then, of course, thereafter, we need to increase the monetary supply with the lending, be a 10% maximum loans on all debt, for business debt, for leisure debt, for student debt, for thereafter, after we have refused all the debt. And the CIT, of course, like I said, to integrate across all levels of civilization, from the farming to the trucking to the arts to the crafts to the electricity, utility, public utility companies, and of course all we have of civilization, economic, social, cultural, the theater, the movie production. Of course, I write scripts. I write scripts as an artist, and write and do. And this is CIT, citizen integration theory, democratic fusion theory. DFT is, of course, which I haven't explained much, is the democratic fusion theory to via the complementary institutions, the Dragan Army, officially international citizen integrated social security and service force, with the international integrated dancing, aka the Dancing Goddess Army, to of course implement and support cooperation, public-private partnerships and cooperation for the ensuring and securing of liberty and maintaining civilization and hopefully upgrading towards the stars, and encouraging people to work out, to train, exercise, and of course to administer a new justice with simple principles that people deserve second and even third chances, and warnings to people do wrong to do it again, and XYZ, and to have democratic fusion theory applied via the complementary covenant and cooperative institutions. 11:59 a.m. Gonna wrap it up because I need to go to the washroom and need to write some emails and have some lunch, have some leftover lunch. This is my lunch on a budget here, lunch on a budget here, which yours truly is gonna have some lunch on a budget. This has been a yours truly special event with yours truly, Adrian H. Dragon bonus being reborn, Adrian Hana Dragon. Please increase in hygiene in public. Please, if you made $1 million profit on the stock market today, give 10% of that million, which equivalates to 100,000 for food security, LGBTQ youth sports, women's sports leagues, and of course for environmental causes. Adrian Hana Dragon, thank you, love you, kiss you, hug you, all my willingly loving allies and armies, pledge your allegiance, and please increase in hygiene in public, because we have, myself included, right here in this room off Sun Temple, I am private citizen Dragon, I share with the public, my philosophies, art, call to all, my call to all, where y'all at? I step into public, I'm also no longer just private citizen. When I step into public, added dimensions, and those dimensions are duties, obligations, and responsibility to be also a public citizen. Duties, obligations, and responsibilities to also be a public citizen. Duties, obligations, and responsibilities when I step into public, being also a public citizen. So private-public partnership, creating the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, which is my world peace work of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, with the International Integrated Dancing, aka the Dancing Goddess Army, and the Phoenix People's Party, and the Australia's Global Dragon Union for the 21st century. My policies and 11 principles for the 21st century union is what I'm calling for and advocating. Make love tonight with consent and hygiene. Make love tonight with consent and hygiene. Make love tonight with consent and hygiene. Gonna put it on Facebook Live. We went live and we're gonna upload it for this to be put on YouTube.